Good morning. It is Monday, December 8th, 2025, and it's time for a reality check. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lizabeth, and since June of 2022, I have been documenting my journey to a healthier version of myself. I've used a variety of different weight loss programs, mostly Optavia's 5-in-1 program. I met my weight loss goal with that in November of 2023, and since that time, I have tried maintaining that weight loss. I've gained quite a bit, not quite a bit, but a lot of weight back. And I have gone back to Optavia's 5-in-1 program 5 weeks ago. And throughout this whole process, I consistently did reality checks while I was on Optavia, not so consistently in the intervening 2 years, but now I am back and doing weekly check-ins and letting people know how I'm doing, not just physically how I'm doing, but also the mental gymnastics that my mind is playing as I work through this process. So if you're interested in hearing more about the struggles and the successes of someone who has lost 160 pounds and is wanting to has gained some of that back and wanting to get back to a healthier weight, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Also, if you would share my videos with other people, if you would give this video a thumbs up, and also if you would just comment words of encouragement to me. That is really something that sustains me from week to week. So I am 5 weeks in, and I have been having a lot of struggles emotionally, just mentally over the last week. When I did Optavia the first time, toward the end of my weight loss process, I really started to struggle mentally with the fuelings, the processed foods, and while they are nutritionally sound and they don't use artificial sweeteners and they have great, they use solid products in them. I just am not a processed food person, so I really struggled. And while I probably could have stayed on fuelings longer and lost more weight, I really got to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. And in case you're wondering, it wasn't just a few weeks. I was actually on the program for 67 weeks, so almost a year and a half. And while I was on the program, I did not stray off at all. So every single day, I ate my 5 fuelings. I ate a measured, weighed, lean and green meal every single time. I stuck to, I didn't have any condiments with my fuelings. I made them with only water. I didn't have any cheat days, any cheat bites. I just stuck to the program for those 67 weeks. And as a result, I lost 160 pounds. So I literally lost half of myself, a whole person and then some while I was on that program. And I felt great about myself, and I was active and happy, but then the struggle to keep that weight off once I went off of those processed foods was extremely real. It was a really big struggle. And if you have been around for a long time, you know that I tried several different programs, trying to find one that actually fit, that worked for me. And after 2 years of trying, and really after probably 9 months of gaining back about 50-ish pounds, I just knew that I needed to go back to Optavia and get that weight off again because it had worked so well for me the first time. So this past week, I've had a lot of thoughts running through my mind. First of all, what if I don't lose weight? What if this doesn't work for me? What if I just am here. This is what I am going to weigh for the rest of my life. And that is a very real conversation to have with yourself. And it's one that I am currently having with myself right now is, can I be happy weighing what I weigh? And can I just stop thinking about this weight loss? What if I don't get past this weight? And so just to kind of show or explain to you, I have been in a 4-pound range where I am right now for pretty much a year. Or not a year, I would say since April. So it hasn't been quite a year, but maybe 9 months. I may gain 5 or 6 pounds and then lose that 5 or 6 pounds. But where I am right now, I have yet to really get below this weight. I just can't get below this weight. I'm going to share with you my weekly progress in just a minute, but this is where my mental struggle comes from is I just need to get past this. There's like, if I could just lose 10 more pounds, I think I would just stop and say, all right, I'm just going to work to stay at this weight range and try to take my focus off of weight loss for a while. So then let's talk about eating disorders, because I've had this conversation with several people. And exactly what is a eating disorder? A lot of times we think of anorexia, people who just never think that they're thin enough, and yet they are malnourished and they are underweight and not healthy. We think of people who have bulimia, who binge and purge and cause health issues that way. But I think there is an area of eating disorders that we don't talk about, maybe, that we don't think about. And it's something that I think I may really be struggling with. And it's not the food addiction, which I do think is an issue, but it is just the constant need to be consumed by how much I weigh. And I think that's unhealthy. I think that I am at a place where probably if I were to talk to a counselor or, a therapist, that they would say, yeah, you have an eating disorder because you are so focused on your weight. And I need to step away from that. Like, I really feel like I have to stop trying so hard to lose weight, and I need to just live a healthy life and be active and make healthy food choices and stop being so concerned about how much I weigh. Now, I am committed to 2 more weeks of 5 and 1. I would really like to at least drop 10 pounds. I don't think I'm going to do that. Clearly, I'm not going to do that in the next 2 weeks. But in 2 weeks, it's going to be Christmas, getting, the week of Christmas. And I think I have to draw the line right there for myself and do what I can for the next 2 weeks and then move on after that. I will reevaluate in 2 weeks. Of course, I will be sharing with you all along the way what I'm doing, but I think that I've really kind of come to that determination because this is how I did this past week on 5 and 1 solid for an entire week. So yes, I lost 1.2 pounds. The previous week I had gained weight. I am now 0.6 of a pound below where I was 2 weeks ago. So if I compare back to 2 weeks ago, there's that. However, in the last 3 weeks, I have lost about 2 pounds in the last 3 weeks. Yes, that's a loss, But when I compare it to how I did on Optavia the last time, it is not even close to the rate, even at this weight, how much I was losing each week. And so it's discouraging. Yes, I lost some inches. Overall, I've lost 10.5 pounds. I've lost 9.5 inches. That's great. So in 5 weeks, not bad. But keep in mind that first week was a big loss. So discouraged I am. That is where I stand. I will always be real. I will always be honest. And I will always share exactly how I feel and exactly what I'm going through. So this week, I have some options this week. Do I stick solid to the 5 and 1 again this week? Or do I start making some changes? And I think I am going to start making a few changes. And this is kind of how I plan to do it. Now, I've already posted my weekly menu plan. So you can see on that plan that I have 5 fillings picked out, a lean and green meal, and that really does hold me accountable. But what I think I will be doing is making a substitute for one of my fillings every day, something else that is still in that similar calorie range, similar macros, so high protein, lower in carbs, around 100-ish calories. Healthy choices, it might be hard-boiled eggs and some cucumbers, or a protein yogurt or something. I'm going to make a few little alterations. I also wonder if the calorie level really is too low for me. And but for this week, I am going to be starting to make a few substitutions, and I'm also going to be adding in strength training. So I've talked about at the beginning even that I was going to do that. So I will be adding some strength training routines a few times throughout the week, just going to see how things progress. It is trial and error, but after 5 weeks on 5 and 1 and not really seeing the movement that I saw the last time, and really slow progress, I just have to wonder if this is actually the right choice, but I'm not completely giving up on it. I still think that it works for most people. I read recently somebody posted that their coach said it works 100% of the time for 100% of people, and I think that is very false. I think it's dangerous to make claims like that. I think that recently Optavia has made some very misleading claims that I really struggle with, because they talk a lot about resetting metabolic dysfunction. And I think if Optavia reset metabolic dysfunction, why was my metabolism not reset after faithfully following the program for 67 weeks? So I really feel like that is an incredibly misleading claim that they are making, and they have the science behind it. And but what about those of us who don't prove their science? Like, are we discounted? Are we, like, what's the deal with that? And I haven't seen that addressed at all. I am really frustrated with those claims. And so that just makes me very mistrusting of the company as a whole. And I've had struggles with them. I have talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly of Optavia. And while there are some really great things about it, while it has helped thousands of people lose weight, I think there is a category of those of us who were morbidly obese, had massive amounts of weight to lose, and were on the program for a really long time. And I think that's very different than I look at a lot of the before and after shots of people and coach pictures that they post, and pictures of people saying, you know, I lost weight on Optavia and I've maintained it for 5 years. But how much weight did they lose? 20 pounds, 50 pounds. I really have not found anyone who's lost 100 pounds or more who lost their weight on Optavia and are off the fuelings and living with real food and maintaining that weight loss. I haven't found it. Maybe those people exist, and if you're one of those people, I would love to connect with you and find out how you did it, how you're doing that, because it is a mystery to me. Most of the people that I see are, you know, making claims of, you know, success on Optavia are ones who lost, you know, in the 20 to 50 pound range. And we're on the program for, you know, half a year, 6 months. But those of us who have been on the program for a really long time and lost a significant amount of weight struggle to keep that weight off. So I don't want to discourage anybody who is on the program, who loves their progress, who is doing really well. I don't want to be a Grinch. This is my favorite Christmas mug, by the way. I don't want to be a Grinch or sound like a Grinch or come across as being negative, but I am sharing my progress. I'm sharing where I am in this process. I'm sharing how it is to try and struggle and just be discouraged and not see the progress that I feel like I need, but maybe I don't. I don't know. So I don't want to be discouraging to you. I think if you have found a program that is working, that you feel good on, and that is just successful for you, then I think that's great. And I encourage you, and honestly, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you do Weight Watchers or Optavia or keto or whatever it is that you have found that worked for you. I think that's great. And we are all just wanting to be healthier, stronger, live longer, live healthier and happier lives. That is my ultimate goal. And, you know, I want to be around for my grandkids. I want to be around to travel with my husband. We have a big motorhome, and we are looking forward to his retirement in a few years so that we can do more travel. So I really want to be healthy for that, but not at the expense of my mental health. And that's something that I need to really take into consideration, and that I have done a lot of soul searching about this week. So that is where I am. We're gonna plug through another couple of weeks and see where things are and how I feel mentally, because ultimately your mental health and your physical health are both equally important, and you have to take both of those into consideration. So if you've stuck with me this long, thank you. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me. It encourages me. Any comments you can leave, that sharing your stories and your struggles really help me as well. I have one sweet friend who daily shares with me her weight, and just as a way of being held accountable. And I love just being able to encourage her and have conversations with her. It's, you know, like being a coach for free, which I've said before. I don't know that I make a whole lot of difference in her life, but she feels compelled to share that with me, and I gratefully accept that. So if you need help, if you need encouragement, please reach out to me. My contact information is in the description box down below. If you want to talk on the phone or anything like that, just reach out to me and we can make arrangements for that. I really do appreciate all of you and all of your encouragement and support over the last few years. I continue to need that support, and I hope that you will stick around and continue to reach out to me and watch my videos. And I promise I do have some recipe videos coming up. I talked about making a ketchup recipe that it's Whole30 friendly. It is made sweetened with dates and no artificial stuff. It also gets used in barbecue sauce and cocktail sauce, so it's a great recipe. I've got that one coming, some soup recipes, and some other things that I hope to share with you in the very near future. So keep watching my videos, keep supporting and loving me and each other, and until I see you next time, please live in the light.